Stop eating cheese if you want weight loss. Hey, what's shaking bacon? My name's Bruno Panucci. I hope you're doing well. So I've had this Facebook group going since I started this 80-20 challenge with 4 meals a day. If you want to look below, there's a link to the Facebook group below this video. And so the goal is to have moderate protein and 4 meals a day on a high-fat diet. So lots of people are getting great results. I was getting great results. So it took me a few days, I would say maybe about a week before I started noticing any significant weight loss. And then it started happening and it was really nice. I usually don't pay attention to the scale, but I wanted to see how this was going. After about a week or 10 days, I started losing about a half pound a day. And I was like, this is pretty cool. Things are moving, everything's going really well. So the interesting thing about this Facebook group that I started is a lot of people have joined and more people are joining. It's going pretty well. You know, I keep rules really strict. I don't want anyone to post any foods that are off this way of eating because not everyone is as far along as others are when it comes to cravings and food temptations. Some people are starting carnivore with this 80-20 challenge. That's a pretty steep hill to climb when you're just starting carnivore. I honestly recommend doing regular carnivore, but there are lots of people who are just quietly observing, seeing what's happening with a lot of people who are doing this challenge. And those people are welcome to join the group, but as quiet observers. I don't want them to confuse people with different rules and different things that they're implementing because this is a very specific challenge. Now, I am thinking about keeping this group as a regular group after this challenge is done because it looks like a lot of people are getting some benefits out of this Facebook group. Everyone's bouncing ideas off of each other and also food suggestions for each other. But there's one constant theme I'm noticing in this group is people asking about stubborn weight loss and they're not getting good results. And it turns out the culprit is often one of two things: not following the rules, not eating enough, which means they're not following the rules, but also something that is allowed on this way of eating, but will stall your progress is cheese. Cheese will typically stall your progress. Now, lots of people see Kelly Hogan having goat cheese a lot. And you know what? Here's the thing with Kelly Hogan. She's not losing any weight, is she? Right? She's doing a great job with this 80-20 challenge. She's enjoying what she's doing. Kelly Hogan's metabolism is like a freight train. She's already in great shape. She has great metabolic health. A lot of things she throws at her metabolism by going a little higher protein, a little higher fat, more meals in a day, less meals in a day, more food in a day, less food in a day. Typically, it bounces off that speeding freight train. She has a very healthy, sound metabolism. A lot of people are coming to this way of eating with this multiple meals a day and 80-20 challenge from a damaged metabolism. If you have a damaged metabolism, you're not going to be as metabolically sound as she is and metabolically flexible when it comes to your diet. So what you have to do is pull in the reins. You need to be more strict than other people might be. After a while, when you've gotten to where you want to be and you've leveled off there for a while, may take a month, may take months. But after a while, you can start opening things up. If you want, you can go with more protein, less protein. You can start playing around with it a little bit. But the one thing that is guaranteed to stall your weight loss is cheese. If you're trying to lose weight, cheese is not the thing you should be having in your way of eating. So I put this to the test and I was really intrigued to see what was happening because I got to the point where after 10 days, I started to get some weight loss. Now it's interesting because I was fooling around with this in August and I got 12 pounds of weight loss. And then I started doing it consistently and my body froze. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And I didn't lose any weight in the beginning. That's fine. Some people even put on weight and that's fine too because you're eventually going to lose it. But don't worry, your body will adapt, right? So keep that in mind. Just follow the process, trust the system. You may have to tweak it down the road, but trust the system. So after 10 days, I started losing weight and it was interesting. I was losing, I don't know, half a pound a day on average. Once things started moving, it started moving really well. I went from about 318 pounds down about on average half a pound a day. And I thought, okay, this is working really well. I was getting into ketosis every morning, not aggressive ketosis, but I was getting into ketosis. I use a Keto Mojo to measure this. And overall, I was very satisfied with that. It was going really well. And I thought, I wonder how this is going to work if I have any cold cuts and cheese. So I went to the grocery store and I got some cold cuts. I also had some Havarti cheese with it. I had a few slices of thick Havarti cheese. And I thought, okay, this is pretty cool. I've been getting consistent results now. So I thought, I'm going to see how this goes. If I introduce cheese, is this going to stall my weight loss? And here's what happened. It's kind of a no-brainer. My weight loss is stalled. Not only did my weight loss stall, I went back up to 318 pounds from 312. I put on almost 6 pounds because it was actually like 312 and change. So not only did I stop my weight loss, I went back a little bit. Now, I honestly think that's going to drop fast because that's just going to be the speed bump. I went up and I'm going to hold there for a little while. I've held there for a couple days now, and I'm going to go down. Now, I didn't pay attention to the scale right after I did it. I wanted to see how I responded a few days later, and I'm still holding on to that weight. Now, I'm not worried about this. In the 3-month challenge, for the couple days that I had that cheese, so it's going to give me a plateau for a week or a week and a half or something like that. This is a reminder to those people and an information for those people that didn't know cheese will stall your weight loss. In my case, it actually set me back a little bit. So my body was really getting adjusted, and then it turned around and went, no way, we're not doing this. So what's the takeaway from this? Well, don't eat cheese. Yeah, but Kelly had goat cheese in all her photos. Well, goat cheese is different. But if you're trying to lose weight, don't eat cheese. Kelly's not trying to lose weight. Some people that are doing this 80-20 challenge are doing it to feel good or up their performance or just to experiment to see how it's going. Now, for quite a bit of us, we're doing it for the weight loss. We want to see some weight loss with this, right? And that's fine because we've hit plateaus. We've been doing intermittent fasting. We've been doing 1 or 2 or 3 meals a day. We've become in tune with our bodies and learning what to eat and when to eat and listening to our bodies. That's great. I highly recommend that for most people. But for people who have been on this stubborn plateau with weight loss, it turns out you have to be more picky with what you're doing. It turns out you have to change things up. And a lot of people in this Facebook group have come from an intermittent fasting background. And that's cool. So have I. As it turns out, most of us have been doing this with too much protein in our diet. Now, I always believe we want to stick to the upper limits of what our body can handle with protein. So this is a temporary fix. This is something you want to do, lower your protein, so that your body can adjust to this and find out what your requirements are. Some people may eventually have to lower their protein more. People are going to have to adjust to this diet. It may take a week or it may take a month for their blood sugar and insulin to balance out to this way of eating. It's going to be different for everyone. You can't expect all your results in the first week. Like I said, it took me at least 10 days before I started seeing anything significant happening with the scale. But just like with regular carnivore, nothing's changed when doing this challenge and incorporating cheese into it. Cheese will always stall weight loss. I shouldn't say always. For the vast majority of people, it will stall your weight loss. Cheese is not a good thing if you're trying to lose weight, even if it's high-fat cheese. If it's goat cheese, yeah, that's different. But I'm talking about just regular cheese you get at the grocery store that comes from a cow. It's not really ideal when it comes to weight loss. So I want you to keep this in mind. If you're doing this challenge, or even just carnivore in general, and you're trying to lose weight, cut out the cheese. It's just simple as that. If you want to treat yourself every now and then because it's helping you stick to a carnivore diet, keep the cheese in there. I think that's a great thing to do because it's helping you to stick to a carnivore diet. But if you're trying to get past a plateau, cut the cheese. If having cheese in the first few months, 3 months to 6 months of a carnivore diet is what's allowing you to stick to this carnivore diet while you're dealing with sugar cravings in the beginning, yeah, keep the cheese. Because now you're looking at the whole picture. This isn't a diet to lose weight. This is a diet to heal your body. And you know you feel better when you do this carnivore way of eating. Stick with the cheese if that's helping you stick with the carnivore diet. Weight loss is going to eventually happen. Weight loss is the side effect of your body getting healthier. One thing that can stall that is cheese. So eventually, once you become old hat with carnivore and you're doing pretty good with it, start cutting back on the cheese or cutting out the cheese. And you'll see after a while, the weight loss will happen. I'm not scared that I put on a few pounds doing this. I'm not scared that I backpedaled a few pounds with the cheese. This was something I did out of curiosity. I was getting into pretty good ketosis. I was losing weight steady. And then all of a sudden it stalled. I'm fine with that because it's going to go back to that. I didn't go outside of the rules with this challenge. I stuck within the rules, but I incorporated cheese. And over the couple days I incorporated cheese, I've had a stall that's lasted days. And I'm only about 5 days into this and I have the stall. So this might last another day or two. It might last a week or so. I have no idea, but I'm not worried about it because you can't get caught up in all this. You have rules you're sticking to and you're trying to move forward. When you're truly looking at the big picture and you're not worried about the day-to-day numbers, you're in a better mind space. Stop worrying too much about the numbers. Let them guide you, but don't let them control you. You're in this for the long haul. If you're looking at this as just a way to lose weight and you're going to eventually slip up and go off this way of eating because you're not taking it that seriously as a lifestyle change, you're going to get the same results eating carnivore as you have any other way of eating. You're eventually going to go back to your other way of eating and you're going to just put on all your weight again. What's the point of that? Are you doing this because it's a lifestyle change? Yes, that's great. Are you doing this 80-20 thing as a temporary lifestyle change because you want to get more in tune with your metabolism? You've already gotten in tune with your eating disorders. Maybe you've been binge eating before. Maybe you were emotionally eating before and those things have gone away. But now to get in tune with your hunger signals, well, that's great. Now we're delving a little deeper and we're listening to what our metabolism is telling us. And our metabolism has been telling us we're getting too much protein. Simple as that. And it's been telling us by giving us a weight plateau. And mine was 8 months. Other people have had it going for a couple years or more. Some people have slowly been putting on weight over years. So it's going to be a little different for everyone. If you've hit a plateau for 2 weeks or a month, it's not really anything to worry about. If it's lasting longer than a month, 5, 6, 7 weeks, maybe this is something you might want to consider. Cutting back on your protein, increasing your fat. We're doing a 2-to-1 ratio for calories. So twice the fat calories to the protein calories. It's pretty simple. At first, you have to measure everything, but after a while, you get to know what your portion sizes are. I know when I have a steak, depending on how much fat's in the steak, I'm allowed to have X amount of ounces of that steak. So it's pretty easy. Your weighing is only really done in the beginning. You're always welcome to go higher on your fat. You want to have at least 4 meals because as I've said in lots of videos before, and I'm going to have to keep on saying this because there's still new people coming to this channel and new people coming to the Facebook group. When you eat 1 or 2 meals a day, your blood sugar, even on a carnivore diet, you have to understand this, your blood sugar is going to spike because it's a lot of calories for your body to handle. And if you still have some form of insulin resistance from one degree to another, your insulin is going to go down really slow. That's where I am, and that's where a lot of other people are with these plateaus. When you have multiple small meals, your insulin is staying down here at this level. You're not letting it go up too high. Because it's not going up too high to begin with, your insulin's staying low all day long. And it's okay to have speed bumps. We don't want spikes in our insulin, not while we're trying to heal our insulin resistance. So basically what this comes down to is anyone who's having cheese in the carnivore diet and they're trying to lose weight, they can't figure out why their weight loss is really slow or stubborn or they're hitting plateaus, cut out the cheese. It's temporary while you're trying to lose weight. You can reintroduce it later, slowly, but reintroduce it later. Yeah, you're thinking to yourself, I've already cut out so many things. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, this is the reality of the situation. You got to enjoy a different lifestyle for a long time before when it came to your way of eating. And you know what? Now you're paying the consequences of it. For the most part, that's what applies to most people, right? For the most part, that's what's happened with most people. They've had a long time of eating lots of stuff that's damaged their metabolism, and now you have to do the work to put it back together. Bite the bullet, accept the fact you just got to cut cheese out. It's temporary. It's not the rest of your life. It's temporary while you're trying to lose weight. It's pretty simple. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Take care.